Hello, my name is Roman Onigan. In this lesson we will look at the waves of motive and corrective modes, and on the example of an ideal market pattern, we'll consider the fractal waves. So let's go. In the previous video, we found out how actionary waves differ from reactionary waves. The concept of actionary and reactionary waves are needed mainly to indicate certain areas on the chart, that is, for the convenience of communication. Now let's see in what mode the waves can develop. All waves develop in one of two modes, either in the motive mode or in the corrective mode. There are 3 types of motive waves and 7 types of corrective waves. That is, there are 10 types of waves, and for each of these 10 types of waves, we'll look at a set of rules in later lessons. And in this lesson, we will make an ideal pattern of the waves of motive and corrective modes. And on the example of this ideal market pattern, we'll consider fractal waves. Motive waves have a 5-wave structure, while corrective waves have a 3-wave structure, or variation thereof, connected by corrective intervening waves, for example, from 2 parts of 3 waves which connect the intervening wave as shown here. Either of the 3 parts of the 3 waves that connects the intervening wave is shown here. But at the current stage, we will depict the corrective waves only consisting of 3 parts. There is the ideal market pattern, which consists of a motive wave upward and corrective wave downward. We see that the motive wave here consists of 5 subwaves, and the corrective wave consists of 3 subwaves. We'll call this large motive wave Wave 1, and the corrective wave Wave 2. All the subwaves of the motive wave are denoted by numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the subwaves of the corrective mode are denoted by letters, in this case A, B, and C. Note that the initial part of our figure, the small waves 1 and 2, are exactly a reduced copy of the large figure, that is, waves 1 and 2. Like the large wave 1, the small wave 1 is also a wave of motive mode and consists of 5 subwaves and is denoted by numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the small wave 2, like the large wave 2, is also a wave of corrective mode and is denoted by letters A, B, and C. If we look above, we see another motive wave which consists of 5 subwaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have a corrective wave which consists of subwaves A, B, and C. And the last motive wave completes all this movement. It consists of 5 subwaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. At this point, the entire upward motive wave ends and a new downtrend begins, which is essentially a correction and is formed in a corrective mode. The first part of this descending section, or wave A, is the motive 1 and consists of 5 subwaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second part, that is, wave B, is corrective and consists of 3 subwaves, A, B, and C. And the third part, that is, the wave C, again consists of 5 subwaves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and is the motive. And now if we look in more detail, we can see that any wave can belong to the motive or corrective styles. Accordingly, we note on the chart all the small motive waves and note on the chart all the small corrective waves. And now look at the large waves, 1 and 2. They are also part of the bigger wave pattern. That is, if we have waves 1 and 2, then somewhere there will be even larger waves, 3, 4, and 5, and after the completion of this uptrend consisting of 5 subwaves, there will be another very large correction, A, B, and C. And so you can expand this pattern to infinity, both up and down. This pattern shows very well how small waves uniting with each other form larger waves, which in turn are again combined with each other and form an even larger structure. The most interesting thing here is that all these waves are an exact copy of each other, only the size differs. That is, such a pattern for constructing waves is fractal, where the smaller is similar to the larger. Now back to our ideal market pattern. We can briefly describe its internal structure simply by saying that all its actionary waves develop in a motive mode, and all the reactionary waves are formed in a corrective mode. In fact, if we look at the large wave 1, it is acting and developing in a motive mode. And if we look at the corrective wave 2, it is reactionary and develops in the corrective mode. Now let's delve 1 wave level below and consider the subwaves of wave 1. We see that all the actionary subwaves are formed in the motive mode, and all the reactionary subwaves are formed in the corrective mode. As for wave 2, it is the same. The actionary waves are formed in the motive mode, and the reactionary wave in the corrective. Now if we go deeper into an even smaller wave level, we see the same picture. All actionary waves consist of 5 subwaves and are formed in the motive mode, and all the reactionary waves consist of 3 parts and are formed in the corrective mode. Thus, we confirmed in the above statement that all the waves in this pattern are formed in the motive mode, and all reactionary waves in this pattern are formed in the corrective mode. I want to note the following: that reactionary waves are always developing in a corrective mode. If actionary waves were always developing in a motive mode, then there would be no need for different terms. It would be sufficient to say there are only 2 types of waves, motive and corrective. But we cannot say so because the actionary waves can take the form of both motive and corrective waves. Why this is so at the current stage is difficult to explain because we are not familiar with the corrective patterns, so we will deal with this later. And now let's move on to the next lesson, where we will begin to get acquainted in detail with the first of the 3 types of motive waves, impulse. All lessons in this video course are devoted to the theory of wave analysis. If you want to learn or practice, please contact me for personal training. If this video was useful to you, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. So until we meet again, bye for now.